So as it turns out, the mission's not impossible because I fucking did it. There was well, there's two things, but one thing that changed absolutely everything about this mission solo, and that is you can throw the platinum ingots. I wish this was communicated to me, but I saw like a video, I think it was a video or a GIF. I saw somebody throwing it, and I was thought that is the exact thing I need to actually be able to do this mission solo, and I managed to do it. It took me a lot of retries, but I fucking did it with 15 seconds to spare. So I'm going to go over the build real quick because I talked about a lot about the mission in the last video, which I uploaded right before this one. I'm a little excited right now. Let me bring it down a notch. But the build. Supply pack. Infinite stims, kind of. It's very important. You're just going to take a lot of damage this mission. That's just how it goes. You can't avoid it. And this is the best way to mitigate a lot of damage coming your way. On top of that, it gives you ultimatum shots, which you desperately need, grenades, which you desperately need, and primary ammo, which you don't need that much on this mission, to be honest, but it's still nice. Gas mines have the best crowd control in the game. They are incredible at keeping enemies away from you as long as gas can't affect them. And gas can affect most bots, everything except tanks, war striders, and factory striders as far as ground enemies go. These are really good. They do damage to you and you can get ragdolled into them and die from the gas. It's unfortunate, but that's just a risk you have to take. The power level of the gas mines is too like elevated to not consider. It's a really powerful stratagem, especially for this mission where you just need as much CC and as much killing power as you can get. Next, I'm bringing the Tesla Tower, and this is kind of a random pick, but the Tesla Tower has way more health than any other sentry, and it still does a decent amount of damage to bots. It's not the best, but I need something to draw aggro away from me while I'm moving the platinum ingots. The Tesla Tower does a really good job of that. It might not do as good of a job of protecting me as the shield gen relay does, but this kills enemies, and I need a lot of dead enemies this mission. So this is going to be my pick. I think it contributed a lot. And this is the other thing I changed from my build from the last time that I think made a pretty big difference. And finally, the Rocket Sentry. This is just an insanely powerful sentry. Tons of damage. It's good against literally everything. As long as you can protect it from enemies that get too close because it gets shy, it stops shooting. But if you can even gets half its ammo out, it's already an excellent use of your stratagem slot. And if it gets all its ammo out, then it's like better. It's one of the best stratagems in the game, like hands down. I really think this thing is insane. And I need all the firepower I can get. If you played the acquisition mission, you know. Oh yeah, I should mention this is the acquisition mission. I'll put it in the title, but I'm so excited right now. I just beat the run. Like you can see, my Helldivers is still a little worse for wear, but I wanted to immediately get into making the video. But the primary I'm going to choose is going to be the Scorcher because it's very reliable, not too much self-damage, good, reliable explosive plasma damage that you don't need to aim that carefully. You don't really have time to take a precision weapon because you just cannot be spending that much time fighting the bots. You need to spend most of your time moving ingots. That's just how it is. This thing's good to whip it out if bots get too close to you and just melt them down really fast. Ultimatum, this is going to be my primary anti-tank tool. This thing is very powerful, not only because, one, again, you don't have to aim it that much. The general direction is usually good enough. But also, it benefits a lot from the supply pack, and it doesn't have a stationary reload, and it doesn't take up a stratagem slot, unlike a lot of other anti-tank options. It's not going to be as powerful as a recoilless, but it's going to get the job done, which is all we need, really. The objective of the mission is not to kill every enemy, it is to move the ingots, and this helps us more than bringing an E or a recoilless because we really cannot spare any of these slots or any time actually shooting at enemies. I'm going to take the heavy fortified armor just to have as much survivability as I can. 50% explosive resistance just helps so much. There's so many rockets, grenades, just all sorts of bullshit being thrown at you 24/7. This is so much better than any other option. I tried the ragdoll on another attempt, barely did anything. This keeps you alive, old reliable. It's been good since launch. Just take it. It's a no-brainer. And finally, this is kind of a wildcard pick as well, but I really do believe in the power of the dynamite. I think the dynamite is an excellent way to clear big clumps of bot chaff because bot chaff, well, I mean, when I say bot chaff, I mean like berserkers, devastators, they're all pretty beefy as far as chaff goes. Gas is just not going to kill them. Dynamite will, and it'll do damage to heavies so it can finish them off after they've been wounded by any of my other options, though it's not a good way of, you know, primarily killing heavies. This is not thermites, but it acts, I think it provides a lot of value, and I think out of all the things in my build, this gets a very sizable portion of the kills. I really like dynamite in this build. In general, dynamite's really fun. And I took experimental infusion because the speed boost is incredibly important. Again, I finished the mission with 15 seconds to spare. If I had any other stratagem, even stamina enhancement, I don't think I could have finished it. That speed boost really made a big difference, and the damage reduction is also huge. You're going to be stimming like crazy anyway with a supply backpack, so you might as well bring experimental infusion. There's an argument maybe vitality enhancement, especially if you don't have the supply pack, but in this case I think this brought an immense amount of value to me. Okay, so let's drop into the mission, and there's a lot that's gonna happen, so I'm gonna talk and try and not miss anything. One thing, quick note, the only thing I really dislike about this mission is how many enemies there are right at the start. I'm gonna let the clip speak for itself. That sucks. I don't like that. You should not be instantly dying the second you drop into the mission. I don't think that feels very good. I'd be fine if there were some defenders, but multiple like machine guns, cannon turrets, hulks, war striders even sometimes is not fun. Right after you drop, it's just you just lose a reinforcement every time when you're solo, at least. I'm not a fan. But this is the good layout. You have to reroll until you get this layout, in my opinion, because this one is so much easier than the other one, and even here it's barely doable. Because this one has a lot of cover and has a very good choke point that the bots come in from, so you don't need to worry about being flanked nearly as much as the other one. And there's one or two annoying cannon turrets here, but the other map configuration has like 3 facing the objective. It's kind of crazy how much easier this one is. In teams it doesn't matter that much, but in solos absolutely you got to do this. But here, this is the platinum toss. This makes it seems like not that much, but I promise you this makes such an immense difference when it comes to moving these ingots by yourself. Because you can see right now my stratagems, rocket sentry primarily, a little bit the gas grenades and the Tesla, they're just holding the tide back because I have to be doing this full time. I just have to be moving ingots constantly throughout the entire mission, or I will not have time to complete anything at all. And this toss method, where you don't run back and forth, I think is way better than what I was doing before, where I was taking one ingot, walking it over the crate, coming back, and I would keep getting interrupted and dropping that ingot, and it would just take a really long time compared to moving them in bulk like this, which is a lot safer because you get to stay in cover for longer, at least at the start. But it also helps you keep them together and not lose them, and I think it's just more time efficient because there's just less running you have to do. Even though you do a huge whiff on the ultimatum, that's unfortunate because that means my rocket sentry dies. It might die from the ultimatum shot anyway, but still, you really do want to be careful with your ultimatum shots. Even with a supply backpack, it's kind of hard to find the time to reload it with how many heavies the game sends at you. It's very scary to only have the ultimatum as that's like your only anti-tank, but I genuinely think I couldn't have fit it anywhere else in the build. I tried anti-tank mines, but they kept blowing me up because I couldn't throw them far enough away and have them still actually meaningfully contribute. So I think it's just better to rely on the ultimatum. Even if you do have to burn through a lot of supplies, that's fine. You have a supply pack, and as long as you make use of the fact that you get double resupply essentially every supply box, then you have enough ultimatum shots to at least survive. Maybe not kill every heavy, but the gas and the rocket sentry do a pretty big job of at least keeping the heavies off of you, if not killing them outright in the case of the rocket sentry. But we're just slowly crawling our way up, and now this is where it gets a little hairier, because we enter no man's land, so to speak. Well, it's not no man's land. It is it is no man's land because it is bots land. This is not a place where you want to be as a human. The bots definitely do not like it when you're in this open area. They will shoot at you constantly and ragdoll you all the time. but at least they only shoot at you from one angle, so you can kind of keep tabs on where they are instead of being flanked in every direction. That was really close. I almost died to that. And honestly, again, if a single thing more went wrong in this mission, because a lot of things go wrong in this mission, I would have lost. If I hadn't stimmed at that exact second, possibly I would not have made it. But that's besides the point. See, now I am getting bogged down in fighting the bots a lot, and I am not moving ingots. And that's the problem with this mission solo, is that there's only so much one person can do at the same time. And when you keep getting ragdolled and interrupted like that, it is pretty tough to actually make progress in the objective. Especially when you want to keep everything fully loaded, you really do want to have your Scorcher and your Ultimatum loaded. Sometimes Hulks get into weird positions like that, and that can be a big problem. It doesn't happen that often. And with a little bit of skillful Ultimatum aiming, and by skillful I mean lucky, you can deal with them pretty okay. Sometimes they get into really bad positions. I've seen Factory Striders like hanging off the edge of the canyon, and that's just an instant restart. Honestly, there's an argument for every time you see a Factory Strider that might be an instant restart, but this mission I actually fought two or three, and managed to take them out with a combination of Ultimatum, Rocket Sentry, and Dynamite. But that slowed me down a lot. So even though this wasn't a perfect run in terms of RNG and luck, I think this ingot toss method, there's got to be a better name than that. Ingot toss sounds so stupid, but that's what I'm sticking with for now. This method is so much more effective than, you know, like limply dragging the ingots back and forth, that even when things go wrong, you have that breathing room to actually be able to complete the mission. And now, there's gas, there's Rocket Sentry doing his job, Tesla dies pretty fast, but even just buying you like 20 to 30 seconds to move ingots is not a bad deal at all on a stratagem. And the Tesla has a mighty fast cooldown. I think it's like 100 seconds. It's not quite MG Sentry tier, but see, it syncs up perfectly with minefields, and I think that's intentional because the Tesla Tower does synergize pretty well with most minefields, at least gas and AT, but those are the good ones. So unfortunately, you're just going to get ragdolled constantly. I mean, here, this is where a Factory Strider shows up, and this is my biggest time loss in the mission, is I spend a lot of time fighting this Factory Strider. I want to see actually how many. It's going to be at least like a minute and 30 seconds minimum, but I do not want to get too close to him because one, my Tesla's over there, and two, those miniguns will shred. Like, I mean, you fought Factory Striders before. Those miniguns are scary. So I'm using the Ultimatum switch tech to switch to the Ultimatum, get a little bit of extra distance, and just kind of lob Ultimatum shots over there like it's a mortar. And here I'm getting a little confused. I thought I had enough ammo to reload. I'm not being super effective, but this Factory Strider has got to either leave of his own volition, which they do sometimes actually, they try and get around and just get lost, or get blasted with the Ultimatum. You get a couple good shots in there, and that's enough. So I throw my resupply over in that direction preemptively because I know that's where I'm going next once I've deposited all these ingots into the container. I think I probably saw like a tank or something. That's why I shot an Ultimatum. I'm not 100% sure in post. But the key is still the same. You take any damage, you stim. And, well, you take more than like 20% damage, you stim. Still, I think you should just be stimming as often as you can. You have enough that you can be wasteful thanks to the supply pack. And when you're stimmed, you're really hard to kill compared to when you're not stimmed. You're very easy to kill. A couple bad ragdolls in a row and you can be completely screwed with no way to recover. Because, you know, you can't stim while you're ragdolled, unfortunately. That would actually maybe be an okay way of fixing ragdolls, but I'd rather there just be less ragdolls. Anyway, as the aside, we finished the easy half of the mission, if you can believe it, and that is all those platinum ingots in that spot over there. On the other side, it's much more cover and you're way less flankable. Here, way more in the open, and there's like 4 or 5 avenues the bots can get at you from. So this is where it gets tough. And now I know that I need 16 ingots, so I start counting how many ingots do I need to take with me on the long march all the way to the cargo container. So here there's not enough on this side. I'm not counting now. I was counting back then. Actually, no, now's when I start counting because I say, holy shit, if I show up over there and I'm missing one ingot and that's why I lose the mission, I'm gonna implode instantly. Thankfully, that did not happen. I actually brought one extra on purpose in case I miscounted, and it turns out I did not miscount. So I'm happy that I managed to do that under pressure instead of fumbling what was a very good run. But you're just going to keep shoving those platinum ingots as far as you can. And you're going to take, unfortunately, now I'm suffering the consequences of my action, as you know, I often do. But the gas mines from before are now present in the area I want to be in now. Because the enemies don't really come to this back area all that much, so all these mines never got set off. But thankfully, gas is not that lethal to Helldivers unless you are ragdolled and unstimmed. So that's when gas usually kills me, at least when I have supply pack, experimental infusion, or medic armor, any stim heavy loadout. I tried this originally in my failed attempt that I posted with full gas resistance armor, and that was nice sometimes, but I think explosive resistance is just so much better. Like, even if you spam grenades on gas mines on cooldown, and you're in the area they're in, you're still just going to take more damage from explosives, just because that's the way the bots do, that's the way the bots go. They just explosives out the wazoo constantly. But now, I should probably have clumped up these ingots a bit better, because I have to run back and forth to get them, and you see how much worse of a position this is. Because the bots have some really nice high ground on me. And to the right, I don't know if you can see it, maybe you can see it right there, there is a cannon turret that just blew up my missile sentry, rocket sentry rather. And this guy is kind of a son of a bitch because he's positioned exactly in the middle point of this this trail of ingots, and he is a real nuisance. Thankfully, he didn't kill me this mission. I got lucky, but he did ragdoll me a lot. So now I just double tap this factory strider with ultimatums, and I just throw dynamite and hope that takes him out. It does, because dynamite actually does quite a bit of damage, even to heavies. I'm not sure how it interacts with broken armor, but the strider's armor was broken, so maybe that did help it do more damage. The systems in this game eternally confuse me. But it was enough to take him out, and that's all that matters. So getting 2 factory striders like that is actually like kind of mediocre RNG as far as the mission is concerned. Overall, I've been decently lucky, because nothing has dropped directly onto this center area. Because sometimes the game just drops a factory strider in the middle, and that's bad. It's not GG instantly, because if he is closer to you, it's easier to ultimatum him. But it is extremely difficult to get out of that situation if he really, really wants you dead. Which factory striders often do. They are not known to be forgiving. Now, this rocket strider, or this pack of rocket striders, is going to cause me so many problems now. And maybe I should have gone out of my way and killed them, but obviously I had no way of predicting that they were going to troll me over and over again with their rockets and just keep sending me back, which would normally just be annoying, but here it's mission threatening. And I'm starting to stress out a little bit because I know I don't have much time left. I'm being really cavalier with my sims, and here goes again, just constantly getting trolled by the fucking rocket striders. Absolute bastards. But thankfully they are not hitting me directly, or at least the heavy explosive resist armor is saving me from dying. They are still making me lose a lot of time, and that is bad. Now I get ragdolled by the cannon turret. He's just going to be there. I mean, I could lock in and shoot a really good ultimatum shot with the tech, but that is a really tough shot to hit at those ranges. And I'd rather just, maybe this is stupid, but I decided in the moment just roll the dice and hope he doesn't kill me. Because if I miss the shot, then I have to waste more time reloading the ultimatum. And also, I'm stubborn as shit, so I want to go for another shot until I hit it, and that would make me lose even more time. So I know myself well enough to pick my battles, so to speak. But right now, we are moving crazy ingots, even though we don't really have much covering us right now. The rocket sentry is up, but I did not throw him. Actually, I'm not sure. It's really tough to determine what the best place is here, because he's less safe where he is now, because enemies can round the corner and stun him, but he also has much better sight lines to shoot a lot of the enemies up in the on the cliff sides over there. So here I make sure that I do not miss an ingot, because it is down to the wire. There's 1 minute left, and as soon as that pelican gets here, the mission's over, and I don't think you can complete it, even if you put in the last ingot before you leave. It's over if you don't get that. So at this juncture, I get ragdolled, or I die from an unlucky one-shot, and it is over. So here I am sweating. I'm actually physically sweating at this point. I'm feeling the adrenaline because I'm so close to the finish line. And I am thinking, again, if I miscounted these ingots, I'm going to explode into a neutron star. But thankfully, I did not. And just with almost no time to spare, no ragdoll, still praying, rocket sentry's doing everything he can, I finish it. And I get pretty excited because holy shit, I've been bashing my head against this mission all day. And it's been pretty frustrating, at least the re-rolling for a good map and not a worst strider seed. I'm still celebrating a little bit because, again, this was extremely cathartic to actually be able to complete this mission solo. I really thought it wasn't possible for a while. And without the throw tech, I think it might not have been. Like, mathematically, you just do not have the time to move all those ingots with everything else that can go wrong. And here I do something a little cheeky. I take a little bonus home for myself. The Pelican tries to fight me a little bit, but I do get the platinum bar to get a well-deserved retirement for that Helldiver, who actually did the entire mission in one life. I died right at the beginning, but after that, it was that Helldiver through thick and thin. Which is crazy that I died less during this mission than I do during some normal, not crazy missions. But still, explosive resist armor is really, really good. And so is the supply pack. But that's it. The impossible mission, I did it solo. I'm very happy with this. Especially because it was pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie, watching it come down to the wire like that, very, very stressful to play, but maybe stressful to watch. Though I guess I spoiled the ending by the title of the video. Still, that was a lot of fun to actually figure out how to do this. I still think this mission needs a little tweaking, maybe. I think, I don't know. I don't mind the amount of enemies, but there's just like a few too many ingots and not enough time. Maybe that's just my perspective as a solo player and it's fine in teams, but still, it needs a little tweaking. But anyway, I'm going to cut myself off. I have no more thoughts to share. I'm very glad I was able to do this. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.